10 degrees, by the way, proof your yeast with 3 tablespoons of honey. The honey is delicious food for the yeast and will help activate it. So just scrape that right in, let it sit until bubbles appear. And in the dry ingredients, 4.5 cups of whole wheat flour, just add 1 tablespoon of salt. Just stir this around. And I've already added salt, a tablespoon of salt, so I'm using 3 tablespoons of unsalted melted butter, which is cooled. This is a whole wheat bread flour, which is milled either from hard red spring or hard red winter wheat. They're high in protein, typically 11.5 to 13.5% protein, and that forms a good quality gluten, which is essential for high volume and fine crumb in yeast-raised baked goods. So this can be mixed right into your flour. This bread is made entirely by hand. Just stir this around. Scrape it all together, and I like to let the liquid be absorbed into the flour. Just keep stirring it a little bit and prepare another bowl by buttering it completely. That's where you're going to allow the dough to rise. It's going to take about an hour or so to rise. If you want, you can just dump this out onto your counter. Knead it a little bit. What you really have to do is incorporate all the ingredients and let the yeast do its job on the flours. Whole wheat is a little bit coarser, and you can feel the sandiness of the dough. Once you think that all the moisture is absorbed by the flour, just form it into a nice round like this and put it right in your buttered bowl. Cover tightly and let rise. You might wonder why you have to cover rising doughs with plastic, or sometimes people use a cloth. A skin will develop on the dough and it'll be tough once the bread is baked, so always cover. So now the dough has risen. This is what it looks like. Form it into a square, like an 8-inch square. You want to fit it into your buttered loaf pan. This is a 9 by 5-inch loaf pan. So I would fold the dough like this, looking very nice, and do that again. You want a nice, beautiful, solid loaf of bread. And you can pinch these seams a little bit and plop it right into your pan. So once you get it into the pan, just sprinkle it lightly with a little bit of the whole wheat flour. Cover with plastic wrap. You can use just the same plastic you just took off the bowl, and allow to rise for about 30 to 45 minutes. During that time, preheat your oven to 375 degrees. So here's the bread, beautifully risen. Put this right into the oven and reduce the heat immediately to 350. Set your timer for 35 to 40 minutes, and the top should be a beautiful golden brown. Now this is what the loaf looks like when it comes out of the oven and is cooled on a rack. It really is amazing that bread baked at home can look just like bread baked in the best bakeries. And this is also a very healthy bread. Sliced, what a great thing for breakfast. Do you have someone in your family that likes the end? Save it for that person. I prefer an inner slice. And for breakfast, a beautiful piece of bread. Can be toasted or served room temperature, buttered with nice room temperature butter. And you can serve this with scrambled eggs, with bacon, with eggs cooked in a rich tomato sauce, like a shashuka. Look at this. Wouldn't you like that for your next breakfast? I would. Everything tastes better when good bread is part of the equation. Enjoy.